Not much. Right? This particular person told me just one person he could remember. Now, I myself, I think I can also remember two. All right. That tells you on serious we are with the gospel. You see, many people, go ahead to say things like, "Oh, you know what? You do not need to go outside and preach. You do not need to, stand out, preach, and do all of these things. That you just behave well." Or some people say, "You know what? There are mountains of influence. Take the mountains of influence." I get that. I get that, and that has its place undoubtedly. But guess what? We are to do what? Go into all the world and preach the gospel. We must. And the word preach, all right, in the Hebrew, the word preach means to cry out. All right. Do you cry out with your profession? I mean, technically, in a way, you can do that. Right. So you cry out, a call out, to proclaim, to announce, to publish. All right. To publish, to cry out, to proclaim, to announce. It says, announce the gospel, go into all the world and announce the goodness and preach the gospel. So every believer is saddled with that the responsibility to go into the world and preach the gospel, right? So we must continue, be ready as a believer. You must be ready to preach to people on the street. Be ready to knock on doors. Be ready to preach in the bus, to your colleague in the office. Be ready to preach. All right. What I have discovered, is that we're consistently producing members who don't have a problem with praying 6 hours, but they see nothing wrong in not going out to preach or not winning a soul from January to December. It's not of God. The believer is moving. He's not someone that is just concerned about himself. All right. There's a man of God, one of the fathers, by the name Jesse. He was the one that said, he says, "No candle which God lights ever was meant to burn alone." What a statement. There is no candle that God lights that God just lights that candle and his desire is, let just this one. I love this particular candle. It shouldn't light it should just light alone. No. Right? Such thing does not exist. God wants each and every one of you be what? To be conduit of the gospel. So go out and preach. Go out and preach. Wait, next time you enter a car, do you know if the people inside that car that say, preach there, preach inside the car, on the road, go out, plan evangelism. So somebody said, why then, if evangelism is this important, why then are not more and more people going out to go and preach? The reason is simple. It's simply because we don't see it as important. How many of you, ask yourself this question genuinely, this year actually sat down to plan how to win